Today we see that how money really was a spread of the disease. In many countries, rich people, elite, oligarchy, they are ignoring the fact that they will be needed very expensive and very hard to get treatment, and they trying to ignore the problem because they have money to solve it, instead of people, poor people, working people who cannot afford sometimes the treatment, medicine, those that they need. They suffer and they die in the world. Many rich people and corporations simply ignore the problem. They can't stop. They need to work. And those entrepreneurs who supposedly moved the economy of the world suddenly realized that if there is no cheap working force, no cheap labor, no cheap workers, they can't do anything without those workers, without those who really produce something. They ignore the fact that the virus is very contagious, that it spread a lot. They ignore that fact and move to other countries to have a vacation, to make, I don't know, some meetings. They still flying. They can't stop fly. They can't stop cross the borders. Yes, I perfectly understand that we still need groceries, for example, products, food, and those were moved by the truckers, by the trucks. Can they stop right now? Absolutely. They can simply stop and say, fuck this. Fuck this. I don't want to die. And they can sit home and wait while the government will do something about the situation, will localize the situation and stop the spread of the disease. But what we see in capitalistic world instead, we see that people, that businessmen can't stop working. They owe money to someone, they owe money to the banks, they owe money to, I don't know, some loan, creditors. They owe money to government. They pay taxes. Yes, cool. Trump give people $1,000 to go back to shopping, go back to where the disease will be spread. In New York is heavily loaded with people, and those people simply sit in this big apple and can't get out, because if they will, disease will spread even more throughout the country. And this happens in many countries of the world. Russian oligarchy, people who don't understand, who ignorant in their individualism. I want to have a vacation, I want to go to the sea, and fuck you all, I will go there. Even if I get infected, money become the spread of the disease. Those people who have money, they demand working people to work, no matter how dangerous it is. If the demand is higher, the same amount of workers working. Tom Clancy was right, let's say it this way. Tom Clancy was right about that the money become the spread of the disease. And look at New York right now, how far it is from that New York, from the game. Is it really that far? And how much time will pass before New York become that New York from the game? He even get a lucky guess with the time of year, because virus is spreading throughout the winter. By the way, for those who think that with warm weather virus will go away, look at Brazil. Virus don't go away anywhere and spread there pretty much fine. Rich people, entrepreneurs, businessmen, they demand people go back to work because they're losing profits. And what in this situation worker get? Where is the government with its help? In other countries of the world, where is the government? Where is the government that will provide help, support, that will provide, I don't know, products, that will provide medicine, that will provide treatment? There is not enough medical personnel in the world to treat everyone. That is the main danger of this virus. And American people so ignorant in their brainwashed propaganda, I guess, how to call that. They so ignorant. They live in their imaginary world where business and capital is working for them. Because, I don't know, they lived well for 70 years. Right now, the money is the main spreader of the disease. Of course, not in plain words, but I don't know this word in English. Not literally, but not literally, let's say. Money, capital can't stop economy from going. Otherwise, economy will collapse. And they demand people, and Trump rhetorics was that of a business, not that of a working people. We don't care, we will handle it, everything will be fine, don't worry about this, we don't have any cases, oh, that's no problem, everything is under control. Exactly, that is what rich people and corporations saying. Republicans always was about the rich people and corporations. And people who vote for Republicans, even I don't understand how they even comprehend, I don't know, how this is even works in their mind. That if they will work, yes, he is not Republican, he is quote unquote independent, when in reality he is still Republican. The same rhetorics, the same support, the same corporations helping him. Well, let's say other corporations help him. But in his rhetorics, he was absolutely 100% Republican. Go back to work, nothing to worry about, don't care, we, rich people and corporations, managers, CEOs, etc., we will sit home and will work from the distance. And you, workers, will go to the factory, will go to the store, will go to the Walmart, let's say, or super shopping center mall. You will go there, you will connect with other people, interact with other people, and get this virus. You will die? Not a problem. As long as business going, I don't care. We need you to work. In Brazil, many businessmen create a strike that they demand people get back to work, even if they can get infected by this virus. And working people of Brazil suddenly realize that fuck those rich people, fuck them. If they want to work, well, hey, businessman, entrepreneur, you can create money out of nothing, well, go create them without us, without working people who really produce something. Well, now, go entrepreneur yourself. Please do. or do business without us. Try it. And we will see who is really the main driving force, who is really entrepreneur, who is really a producer in this chain. And those businessmen screw up. The same thing happened in the United States. The same thing happened in many countries of the world. Rich people demand working people get back to work. It means more traffic, more people interact with each other. More, let's say, even higher chances of spread the virus between people. In Russia, it's perfectly fine, perfectly seen by us. In Europe, Lewis Hamilton knowingly, I don't know what is this information about him, that he don't want to be tested for coronavirus, even though he interact with people with coronavirus. Why? You rich and you don't want, and you want to be exceptional, and therefore you don't fucking care about that you can spread the disease? Why? How this even works? People who get infected need heavy treatment. It's the disease is very bad. Consequences of the disease is very bad for the human, for the people. And yet rich people and corporations can't stop. They still fly, and they need airplanes to fly, they need cargo to be shipped, etc. Can you stop? Yes, of course. If there is government that always prepared for everything and do not declare that, well, you know, the business will handle it all, the market will decide how it gets. Well, here we are. Demand is growing and there is simply no one to offer something. No one. Because working people don't want to die from this disease. The process of dying from this virus is very hard. It's not like you just simply was shot in the head and dead right now, immediately. No. The process is that your lungs is simply stop working. And not momentarily. It happens through many days. And even if you will recover, the consequences will be very hard for you. So in this situation, when businessman sitting in his home and control his enterprise and saying, hey guys, go back to work, like Trump, don't worry about it, nothing happened, we have everything under control, just go back to work. It was Trump rhetorics. And the Republicans don't understand this. They can't even imagine such a situation for themselves because they was indoctrinated, because they somehow still vote for rich people and corporations' profits. They still voting for bailouts for people who really exploit them. The money become the spread of the disease. The money become problem in this world. The money demand that you, people with no money, people who live from paycheck to paycheck, people who can maybe afford a vacation once in a year, these people need to go back to work, otherwise they will simply die. And there is no support from the government. Government simply can't handle such a situation. In capitalism, they can't. It's not pro-communism. It doesn't matter. It's about the reality, accepting the reality. Tom Clancy once again was right. Right about that, money becomes the spread of the disease. The thing we once rely upon, capital rely upon, become the spread of the most dangerous disease there is. And this virus is only first from many. This situation was predicted by biologists, by virusologists, I guess, by many scientists. Years before, when we find out how viruses work, how evolution work, and that how it is, antibiotics is not a panacea, right? I don't know this word. It's not one for everything cure. Antibiotics, viruses, bacteria, everyone adopted to everything in process of evolution. And therefore, this situation that we have right now was predicted many years ago by biologists, by scientists. And what we see now, we see that scientists was warning us about many years. Yes, there is no panic. It's not about the panic. It's not about the panic. It's about the control. It's about ability to stop spread. It's about ability to stop, how to say it, to stop money from spreading. And yes, in this case scenario, money is not literally the spread of the disease, but in other words, let's say, in other words, the money become the spread of the disease in many countries, in the United States too. Instead of saying that Trump is idiot, let's simply accept it. He will say anything that speechwriter will say to him to say. He is nothing but a talking head, and if some Republicans still don't understand this, that's a problem. In this situation, Trump should said that it's very dangerous disease. It's very contagious. We need to shut down our economy, our country for, I don't know, month, maybe 1.5 months. Not for long. Shut down everything, stop spread of the virus. Instead, American individualism drive people to stores, malls. They still have to work, they still need to travel, who knows why. They don't want to they think that COVID is nothing but some conspiracy theory, etc. They don't give a fuck because of American individualism. And American individualism right now is failing in the United States, failing the country as whole, failing the people, and first of all, failing the working people who have no access to basic medical treatment. Don't have money? Go to the street and die, and spread more disease. Infect other people so they will die, because they still can't afford. Not even by the money, by simply sheer amount of medical workers, medical, medical instruments. I don't know how it's said. This stuff that people need to breathe. There is simply not enough of it. And here you are. You screw up. Capitalism screwing you up. Capitalism. You have to accept this. Capitalism. Capital rule everything. Rule your country. Rule your way of thinking. Rule how much and when you consume. Rule every aspect of your life. Capital. That is why we live in capitalism. Not in some socialism or communism. as many American people think, that they spread socialist agenda. What socialist agenda? That you better off without some people exploiting you? What a terrible idea! How dare they? The liberal agenda of United States have nothing in common with socialist agenda. The money became the main spread of the disease, the main reason behind this outbreak. Because people too ignorant, too self-centered, they can't think about, as this guy said, that you went to the store, you bought all the antiseptics, you bought all the toilet paper, you bought all the gloves. Good, cool, and 200 many more people simply can't get access to this. To the same antiseptics, to the same gloves, to the same masks, let's say. And they can protect themselves and they get infected. Cool. 1 get infected, 2,000 get infected. And you happy ever after living with your antiseptics, with your mask and your gloves. Only masks do not protect. And the economy is simply going down because you bought what you need. But 1,000 more people died on the street and infect even more people in process. And economy suddenly collapsed. Well, what you gained? You get your own antiseptics, enough of it to keep, I don't know, going forever in your house. But there is simply no one to bring you food in the store, on the shelves. There is no one to produce other stuff that you needed, produce electricity, give you water. And what you going to do in this situation? You get your antiseptics, you get enough masks to live until the end of the world. And what you going to do with this? Money become the main reason behind the spread, behind this outbreak. Capitalism, the way of thinking of people in this world, become the main reason behind the spread of the disease. And without realizing that, you've been not only used but made main target of this dangerous situation, we will not survive simply. You must realize that how this works, how things works. You must understand what is going on around you, surrounding you. And Tom Clancy once again was right. And look at New York, how far we are from that New York, from the division.